Happy New Year. It is January 1st and we are going to be doing my January monthly reset. I feel like all of the mess is out of the frame, but I got home from the holidays like literally last night and my suitcase is still out. I've got produce on the counter from doing my groceries and I haven't put all my groceries away except for like what had to go into the fridge and freezer. There's clean laundry everywhere and everything's a bit dusty. Even though I cleaned before I went home, dust just accumulates whenever you're not around. Oh my goodness, excuse me. I took my car to the car wash. That's the first productive thing I've done. And I have a couple of expenses from the drive yesterday to put into my budget tracker, and then we are going to go ahead and get into that. And then I'm being a cheater and I am not including yesterday's grocery trip in my December budget because the only reason why I did it yesterday is because everything's going to be closed today and I needed food for today. My fridge was completely empty. My freezer's pretty empty too. So I had to have food for today, and it's a holiday, so everything was going to be closed today. So I am lying a little bit and taking that out of my January budget. So, but yeah, that's the deal. And then I've also paid for Montana's boarding, which was $406.83. 1 sec, 80 cents. Which that will put me over budget in his category because originally I had planned on coming home in January, but then it was so much cheaper to fly home yesterday, and I was worried about being on the road for such a long time because it's a 4-hour drive to the airport on the 1st when people are more likely to be hungover or potentially still intoxicated. So yeah, now I have to learn how to screen record on a Mac. Take 2. So this is what I spent in September. As you will see in the log, I've gone in and I've added in what I spent yesterday, which was the only thing I had left to do. So the gist of things is I made a lot more money than I expected to. It was a 3-paycheck month and I spent a shit ton more money than I expected to. I knew going into the month that I was going to have a very expensive car repair. I did not know that my laptop was going to die completely and be dead. And hence this new beauty that you're looking at. But yeah. And also a lot of this, like $2,000 of that income that is made, that, you know, I made a lot more money this month, is transfers from savings. So I really only actually made like $400 more than I thought I was going to. But that's why we have savings accounts for when shit like this happens. So as you can see, you know, these are the pay. I budgeted about $2,000 for each of these paychecks, and then that's what they actually were. I got one reimbursement of $179.85. This is my Christmas bonus, I think, and then transfers from savings. As usual, my reimbursements go straight into my emergency fund, except for the change. I don't really worry about the change, I just worry about the dollars. I did contribute $500 to my moving fund, and then when my laptop died, I went and took it right back out and a little more. And then I should have technically contributed $60 to my TFSA in December because it was a 3-paycheck month and I contribute $20 every paycheck. Don't come for me for only contributing $20, please. It's what is currently working for me. At least I'm contributing something. But then I had to replace my laptop and I didn't. For my bills, right on target on rent. My electric bill was less than I was expecting. I have electric heat, so I was expecting that to be expensive. My water bill hovers around $100. I budget $110 just in case. My cell phone bill's right on, my internet's right on, CAA, like an emergency, if I need a tow in an emergency or something like that. Because you don't want to get stuck up here on these roads with no help coming. Car insurance, oh, I didn't I didn't spend any money on Netflix, Prime, or Disney Plus. Car insurance is $114.59. My Canva subscription is $16.99. I do think I would like to switch that to annual this year at some point because it is a bit cheaper annually. And then my iCloud storage is $146. And I have stuck with my canceled Spotify. So yeah, groceries, as I said, I am technically cheating by coding yesterday's grocery shop as a January shop, but that's what I'm doing. So yeah, eating out, I budgeted 110 and I spent 116.22, and I'm calling that a win. Technically I did go over budget, but I went over budget by $6.22. And I left good tips because it's December and people need money in December, so I'm fine with that. Coffee, I budgeted 80 and spent 62.22. Trip, I budgeted 900. I thought my flights were going to be so much more expensive than they actually were. Thank you, Porter, I love you. So yeah, 900, and I budgeted 900 and actually spent 636.12. Spending money, I didn't give myself any spending money for the month, and that was dumb, basically. Did not spend any money being social, which seems a bit sad, but I feel like I was very social this month, so whatever. Household supplies, my recycling bin blew away, so I had to buy a new recycling bin. Yeah. I bought 3 pairs of tights from Snag, and I budgeted $100 for that, and it was $111. Personal care and grooming, I need to figure this section out because I can never get this budget right, and I don't know why, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong, and I don't know how I'm spending so much money in this section. So that's that. Car maintenance, I budgeted $950. I knew going in that my total, like, I'd been given an accurate quote by the company, thank goodness. Also fans of them at the moment because my car actually seems to be fixed now. I knew I was budgeting more than it was actually going to cost. I wanted to do that. Gas, I budgeted 100, actually spent 130. I don't think I was planning on going to Dryden on top of going to Thunder Bay. I think that might be what this is, even though I don't know what I was thinking. We're gonna rectify that in January because I have to go back to Thunder Bay in January. Bank fees, I don't want to talk about that. Gifts, I'm a bit disappointed with this one because one of my big December goals was to stick to my gifts budget because I always go over. Normally I go over by a lot more than $76.38. So I guess it's not the end of the world, but and I forgot, or I didn't know if we were, like, my brother and I were buying gifts for my sister's husband, and then my sister and I were buying gifts for my brother's girlfriend. But we were, so I had to add those in, and I hadn't originally included them in my budget. If I had, my budget would have been $400. So I guess that's not the end of the world, but I am a bit annoyed that I went over. And then Montana, I was originally planning on picking him up in January, not in December. So if I take out the boarding of $406.80, then I am well under budget, but I'm including the boarding, so I'm well over budget. And then my block fees, I thought they were $20, they're actually $29.38. C'est la vie. Credit card, I paid $305 to one of them and $970 to another. I don't want to totally repeat myself for my December my December monthly reset, but like I still haven't figured out how to like budget for things if I am budgeting for it in an expense category like trip, but then I'm paying for it on my credit card, so then it's technically getting accounted for twice in both the purchase that gets coded as trip and then actually transferring the money over to the credit card to pay for it. It's also included then in the credit card payment, so it feels like things are getting double counted, but I don't actually know. So, and that is December. So I can't figure out, or I can't get into my bank app. It's just spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. So I am going to assume that my rollover is $1,300 because I'm pretty sure that's where it is. I don't know why it never shows up there. Okay, and then I'm budgeting because $1,900 for each of my paychecks, and there's only 2 this month, I think. Reimbursements I never budget for. I don't think I'm going to have any other income, and I better not be transferring from savings this month. So that is, actually I'm going to put my $1,300 in there. So emergency fund. Actually, I'm going to come back to savings except for my TFSA because I always do 20 per paycheck there at this point in time. And then you'll notice I've made some changes. If you were paying attention closely to the spreadsheet before, I have cut out, like if I go back in my bills, I have like a ton of subscriptions and stuff like that. And I have removed all of those. So my rent is staying the same so far. It was increased in October, so it will be $973.75, and I haven't paid that yet, even though it's the first, because I can't get into my banking app. And then electric, I'm gonna do $150 because my heat's on. Water, I always do $110. Cell phone is $73.45, and I would have loved to have paid these already, but I can't get into my bank app. $107.35. I think I should call Rogers or Shaw or whomever they are at the moment and see if I can get that reduced. CAA is $18.79. Car insurance is $114.59. Canva is $16.99, and this has already come out, so I can go ahead and, oh, right. It's because I understand now. I need to put it in the log first. Taxes should be 0, and Disney Plus should be 0 because I pay that in October. So that means that my total for bills is $1,564.92. And then what I'm gonna do here, because I'm really interested in seeing and I might do a separate sheet for this because this spreadsheet doesn't have it, with like essential spending and the non-essential spending. So like all of my bills except for Canva and Disney Plus are essential spending. And then things like groceries, cat litter, cat food, gas, car maintenance, toilet paper, house cleaner, stuff like that. I want to see if, like, what my actual essential spending is, rather than, like, if I had to live off the bare minimum, how much money would that actually be? Anyways, I want to spend $500 on groceries this month. I want to spend $50 on coffee. The cat, I should be taking the cat to the vet for his vaccines this month. But we'll see. I'm going to need wet food and cat litter, I think. I'm gonna do 200. Household supplies, I'm gonna do 50. Gas, I have to go down to Thunder Bay for an MRI mid-month, so that uses a full tank of gas, which costs about $70 with the current gas prices. I'm gonna do what I did, or what I spent for December as my budget. I should not have any car maintenance this month. Aubrey Winters is doing another challenge, and she's my favorite, like, online instructor. Let me see how much it is. $74.99 US. Oh, the exchange rate's bad. $99.26. So we'll see how much everything else adds up to. I'm gonna put, I shouldn't need more Advil or Tylenol this month, I hope. I'm just gonna put 50 in there. I'm not buying any clothes this month. I'm not, well, no, I'm not counting going down to Thunder Bay for my MRI as travel. Gifts and cards. Gifts and cards. I'm thinking 0 there. Also 0 for Christmas. Blog fees. I'm gonna guess, I have a few domains that renew this month. I'm gonna put 100 in here. Tech, I better not have anything else quit. No speeding tickets, nothing this month. And eating out, I'm going to want to eat out whenever I go down to Thunder Bay for that. So I'm gonna do 100 here, which is $11.80. So right now, I have $15.64 and $11.80. I don't know why this automatically fills in, but anyways, oh, I'm missing a credit card. No, I'm not. My car payment is $308.79. Hi. My student loan payment is $300. I wonder why that's not showing up. Anyways, I would really, see, this is the thing, is I really need to build my emergency fund back up. And I also really want to be really aggressive with my debt this year. So, I know I'm gonna do 300 on that one. And I would really like to do 500 in here and 400 in here. That means that I can contribute. Oh, I should have just looked at this. That means that I can contribute $500 to this credit card. Yeah. All right. And that is basically an every dollar budget. So I don't think it's ruthless, but I definitely need to be, I think the categories that I really have to watch out for, and I have removed it basically from the category, and I'm gonna see how I'm gonna play around with, I'm getting ahead of myself. I've removed personal care and grooming as a category and put in this TP plus. And I'm gonna see how that works. The thing is I don't know where I'm going to put things like haircuts and if I get my eyebrows done or anything like that. Not that there's, like, I don't live somewhere where I can get my eyebrows done. So we'll see. And yes, sir. We'll see how things go, because I do need to figure it. That is a section I really need to figure out. But I think I'm gonna do a video next week where I go through all of my expenses, like where every single cent went last year, because I think that would be a really useful analysis. Ew, why are you crunchy? Anyways, that's my January budget. Now I think we need to get into the chores because I am so over. No, I am am so overwhelmed looking around my apartment right now. Oh, goal setting. So I have made a Notion. We've done Boxing Day, we have done Payday, I have returned, I've picked up the cat, Exhibit A, I've driven home, I've flown back to Thunder Bay, which is currently New Year's Day. That's my monthly planner. I seem to have already done most things. January. This month's goals. This month's focus is going to be on resetting habits and routines. Yeah. This month's goals are to start rebuilding emergency fund and to start rebuilding moving fund and to focus on reducing spending to pay off credit cards. And then my last goal is going to be, oh yeah, let's see. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Tuesdays in January. So I would like to post YouTube video every Tuesday. Yeah. So in that case, we're going to need to change my little cover to a little camera. One of these guys. And it's going to be, YouTube's gonna get green. Okay. And we're filming that right now. Okay, so yeah, those are gonna be this month's goals. Is to start rebuilding my emergency fund, start rebuilding my moving fund, focus on reducing spending to pay off credit cards, and posted a YouTube video every Tuesday. So that is going to be that. And now I have to start cleaning because I am looking around and I'm so overwhelmed. So I'm going to unpack my suitcase and unpack my backpack and my purse. And then I think I'm gonna put, or like at least sort my clean laundry. Not all of it's gonna be dry, and go from there. I got these little salt and pepper shakers at 613 Fleet in Ottawa. Look at these little orange horses. I think they're so cute. And then also got this little brass tray there, and it's just like that. But I want to figure out if I can take out this little plastic bit covering the needle point and put my own in there. And then these I just thought were fun. They're little, I don't know, trays, posters with Texas on them. I'm from Tennessee, I'm not from Texas, but still I thought they were fun. So this was my first trip using the Monos carry-on that I got for in the Black Friday sales. I really like it. They aren't paying me to say this. I don't think they even know I exist. But I was so impressed by how much stuff it was able to fit. The one thing I will say is you cannot overstuff it, or this thing doesn't do this thing. But yeah, I love that, like, I mean, I think any hard-sided case could do this because it just takes up the amount of space that it takes up. It doesn't expand. And I loved all the little compression things. I love the straps. They feel really durable. I was really able to like on them. And this handle feels really sturdy. And it was so nice to like set my backpack on it and just move through the airport like this. I felt so chic. I feel like a traveling queen. But I just wanted to end this off with the book that I read in December. I only read one book in December. It was a dense one. I really enjoyed it. This is a niche content area for sure. This book is called The Mosquito, A Human History of Our Deadliest Predator by Timothy Weingard. If you are interested in vector-borne diseases, zoonotic disease, or history, particularly like conflict in history, wars in history, stuff like that, I think you'll really enjoy this because mosquitoes have no real like ecological purpose. They're not a major food source for any species. All they really do is suck blood and transmit diseases and reproduce. And they only suck blood so they can reproduce. They are such a fascinating creature because it does almost feel like their only purpose, like their only reasons for existing is population control of other animals. It's really interesting. If you are interested in vector-borne disease, mosquito-borne disease, or history, if you're not interested in any one of those things, you are going to think this is the most boring book on the planet. It is a bit of a slog, even though the way he writes it is quite entertaining and funny and almost like personal, because he talks about his grandfather having malaria and his wife's grandfather having malaria and stuff like that. It's very interesting, but niche content for sure. I have a feeling this is like a 3-star read for me because it was such a slog and it is such an intense book, but it's so interesting to me. So I'm going to end it here and continue. I just packed my work bag and I need to do some meal prep and stuff like that, and the cat is begging for dinner even though it's too early. So I just need to get stuck in and really not have to worry about where you are and stuff like that, because I always do. I'm always worried about where you are. So thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, and if you feel like it, you can give me a subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you back here next Tuesday. I have a feeling next Tuesday, even though I put it in my calendar as going through all of my 2023 spending, I think it's actually going to be undecorating for Christmas because I leave my tree up until the 6th, Epiphany, and then the week after that will be my going through all of my 2023 spending. Because I also think I'm going to need more time than a week for that one because I'm nervous. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Happy New Year!